Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders are advised that this video contains images and voices of people who have died.
For 2 years, these lawns have been a place for family and community of Kumanjayi Walker. Wedged between the court and the police station, a space for people to show support and share information about confronting evidence unfolding inside the courtroom. Since it began in 2022, those on the lawns have called for truth-telling and answers about how and why 19-year-old Kumanjayi Walker was shot by a police officer he'd never met until the night of his death. This week, a mammoth 68 days of hearings culminated in final submissions from the parties and a slew of allegations by NT Police against their own former officer Zachary Rolfe. Racist, misogynistic, aggressive, insubordinate, impulsive. Just some of the allegations levelled at the former constable. But the submissions, while scathing, stopped short of conceding institutionalised racism within the agency, something the families argued should form part of the coroner's final report. The coroner also heard in a tragic series of events that nurses were withdrawn from Yuendumu just hours before the shooting, after a spate of break-ins to staff housing and vehicles. The evacuation, according to the Northern Australian Aboriginal Justice Agency, was evidence of structural and institutionalised racism. But lawyers for the Health Department rejected that, telling the court the temporary withdrawal was necessary for the safety of staff. They argued no one could have anticipated a police officer shooting a community member, but they conceded there were shortcomings in the process. A written risk assessment was not completed in relation to the withdrawal. It could and should have been. Local Aboriginal staff were not adequately consulted. They needed to be. The coroner has indicated late February next year for when she's likely to hand down her final report. And while this inquest has lifted the lid on racist texts and awards circulated by police and prompted an apology from the police commissioner on the national stage, lawyers for Kumanjayi's family told the coroner apologies mean little if change cannot be achieved. Acting for one of the groups of Mr Walker's relatives, Gerard Mullins said despite the lies told to the family on the night of Kumanjayi's passing, the devastation and perceived unfairness of the criminal trial, the shocking evidence about the extent of racism within the police force, they remain hopeful the truth will be told. Those hopes a heavy weight Coroner Elizabeth Armitage now bears. A police force hoping to mend community trust, a family seeking answers, and a community demanding accountability. Olivana Lathouris, ABC News, Alice Springs.